Hey everybody, happy Tuesday and welcome to another exciting episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries. It's been a while. We didn't do one for the boys, but I think we'll do a nice makeup one at the end of the week, if you're good.
Yeah.
I'm here with Joe, Lon, and Danielle. As always, we are here today to talk about Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, which is a very evocative title for a very evocative film. We're going to talk about our behind-the-scenes thoughts, show you the trailer, give our reactions to it, watch some cut jokes, and then respond to comments and questions from viewers like you before teasing next week's Honest Trailer. I hadn't seen this movie until we had to watch it. This is one of the better ones. This is a good one.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a good Batman.
It's like I saw it like when it was new, but going back, it's remarkable how serious it is throughout. That there's no effort to make it like soften it for kids or make it more family friendly. It is like a noir movie that just happens to be animated, and there's a bad guy in it.
Yeah, but likewise, it's not over the top. Grim dark, Batman's not having, drinking Pruno and prison wine and, getting in shank fights or anything like that. Like, it's still a kind of high arch Gotham style. It's not gritty and grounded and real. It's emotionally real, but it's not, there's no like shock value stuff going on.
Yeah, no, it's like a really grown up dramatic story with like an emotional through line that's really like about the character of Bruce Wayne and Batman, as opposed to just being like, get the Penguin in there, like it's not, you would think that the first animated Batman movie that WB did was going to be just like cram full of villains and a lot of fights and set pieces. And it's really not. It's like more kind of realistic and somber than a lot of the live action.
It is remarkable that a studio, without the power of hindsight, I could see a studio like 10 years after Batman the Animated Series being like, you know what, people sure love that thing. Let's let Paul Dini just kind of do whatever for a movie. It's remarkable that without the power of hindsight and nostalgia, they were still like, what do you want to do, Paul Dini? And an emotionally driven graveyard bottle episode feature-length Batman? Okay, go for it.
Yeah, it's I know this word is somewhat meaningless, but it's very cinematic. It arcs. It's got like this story of lost love and longing, and it's like an epic tale with a Batman in it. So yeah, this is one of my favorite Batman movies now. I gotta say,
yeah, for sure. We're so lucky that DC and Warner Brothers brought in Paul Dini and Bruce Timm at this pivotal moment when they were kicking off all of these animated DC Comics projects. Like the two best people you could possibly have in the room to like make stuff like this work.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Danielle, thoughts?
My Batman scale, I have the same as I do my other movie scales, except it's like a micro because it's Batman, where I like movies because they are genuinely good and they go in a different category. And then I like movies because I like them. So of the Batman movies that I like, like in the scale of these are genuinely good ones, this is probably my second favorite Batman movie, right under Returns. I would say, right under Returns, and then followed by Dark Knight. I really, 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 really love this one. And then, of course, obviously, Batman and Robin is my favorite Batman movie of things that are bad.
That's a different scale.
They're different scales. You have to.
Yeah.
This is a Bruce Wayne movie, though. Like, I think you can make a really solid fight for this one being like, top 3, top 5. I feel like all the movies try to crack like who is Bruce Wayne, and this one did it really well and really kind of easily. Or at least they made it feel very effortless to be like, oh, this is who Bruce Wayne is, and this is why he's interesting.
Yeah, I think, Lon, you brought this up, that I didn't realize that in this universe he's entirely self-taught, like at everything.
Well, I was going to say, like, this is a year 2 story, I think. I think this is actually sort of semi-based on a comic that's like year 2. So I guess maybe we could fill in, like, there was time. He's remembering being pretty young and, like, just starting out as Batman. And there's no, like, League of Shadows here training him. He's not, like, on a mountain with the blue flower, like learning the crane kick. Like he taught himself to be the world's greatest detective, scientist, and martial artist.
Jiu-jitsu master, yeah.
He didn't learn a lot.
Impressive. That's his 20s were really productive.
Look, you can learn a ton with YouTube, you guys. Like, I've learned that in quarantine. Like, I can't get a handyman over here. There's no social distancing. So if something breaks, I got to do a YouTube video on how to switch out a pipe, or learn jujitsu.
Yeah.
I find, like, for all the problems of Nolan, I'm not, I don't think everything's perfect about Nolan's trilogy, but he does do a good job in Batman Begins of kind of setting up, like, here's how a guy who's just like a random rich kid could learn how to be sort of like a Batman. And I like that. It didn't mean it as criticism, but Mask of the Phantasm he just figured it out one day and was just like, I'm going to be Batman. Duh.
Enough karate in the front lawn. And,
it's just like, he figured it out. He put it together.
You start reading that 4-hour day and you really figure out how many things you can get done every day.
Wait, is Tim Ferriss Batman?
Yes, Tim Ferriss is Batman. That is
Batman's the Wayne fortune is built off like a shady drop shipping website that he runs from Puerto Rico.
It's a multi-level marketing scheme. The Bat family. You become Batman, and then you have several Bat family members underneath you.
Wayne Enterprises is all essential oil sales. It's targeting Midwestern housewives with
Gotham Lady perfume, and then
if you unlock Wayne Elite Plus membership, then they throw you a party at the enormous haberdashery skyscraper in Gotham once a year,
and he teaches you jujitsu.
And everyone gets their own bat car, and it's pink.
His arch nemesis is like the Nexium dude, like the other guy running the big MLM scheme in town. Yeah, I see where this is going. I like it.
All right, let's watch the honest trailer for Batman M.O. the P.
From the character who will be rebooted every few years until all movies are Batman, comes the feature-length version of the cartoon that babysat an entire generation of latchkey nerds. Thank you, Bad Daddy. Batman.
I made sure that Kevin pulled that clip from the worst episode of Batman the Animated Series.
That's the Penguin one, right? Where the kids beat up the Penguin?
Where the kids beat the shit out of the Penguin.
It's so funny!
It's so good, and it's like the 4th episode of the show. So early. they were finding their footing. But that was the one where they they got a studio note of like, kids need to see kids on screen doing kid stuff. How about there's like a kid that fights the Penguin?
Can we make the Penguin
sure you want
less menacing? I mean, he's one of the show's key villains. Can we really reduce him to nothing right away?
What if the kids steal the Batmobile when Batman's knocked unconscious?
Paul Dini's like, do you want this kid to be Robin? No, just a kid.
No. Quite the opposite, actually.
More of like a Peabody and Sherman type. Yeah, he could be the kid or the
prime
dog.
nemesis, yes.
Could you
Should we
give the
make him
girl a
look like
baseball
Richard
hat?
Kind? No, wait. They're going to do that in the movie someday.
All right, let's keep going.
Latchkey nerds. Thank you, Bad Daddy. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. You've seen the story of how Batman began. A lot. Okay, once more for good measure. Okay, that's enough. I said enough! Now, strap in to learn the cost that Breaking Bad took on Bruce's soul.
I just want to do a quick, either a show of hands or a bet. Do you guys think that we will see a Wayne's death scene in The Batman? In Matt Reeves' The Batman?
We're at least going to see pearls. Even if we don't see the whole thing, we're going to see pearls. Even if it's just like he looks at a pearl and he's like, his mascara runs.
If you think about it, just writing these stories, you always need that beat. That's the stakes. That's why he's doing it. You kind of have to, at some point, at least tip your cowl to the character's motivation. And it's, Crime Alley, dead parents. So I don't think we'll necessarily get the full, like, slow-mo Zack Snyder see every moment play out in real time thing, but he'll at least have a flash to it, or we'll add a nod to it or something.
I'm with Danielle. We'll see pearls, and then you'll get a single mascara tear.
Wow. Yeah. I think that it's become enough of a trope that they're going to flip it, and it's going to be Batman shooting Joe Chill, a young Bruce Wayne.
And he accidentally, his parents are friendly fire.
Yeah, the gun just keeps bouncing around. Like True Lies when Jamie Lee drops the Uzi down the stairs.
I thought maybe Joker we wouldn't have to do it, and then no, we still had to.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm told that I'm laughing too much. I'm sorry.
You guys have the pearls. I'm taking the opposite. So we'll see. We'll reconvene once the.
What I'd love is for someone to finally meta examine how that wouldn't happen to a real pearl necklace if you ripped it off somebody's neck. Have you guys ever read that? Apparently, authentic pearl necklaces are knotted in such a way that the pearls wouldn't fly off if you broke the chain.
Are you saying that Thomas Wayne's cheap?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like that's like the visual.
How do you think he became a billionaire, Joe?
It's like that visual
inherited
really
wealth
nice of the pearls going everywhere.
Like the
but
rest
in reality, it would not be.
That's the moment. Can you imagine the moment that you die is the moment you find out your pearls are fake? Oh.
Also, how does Bruce Wayne have the pearls later as a keepsake if they went with some cop going through the alley picking
up each
individual pearl? This kid's going to want these one day as a sad remembrance of this moment. Say if he dedicates himself to vigilantism, I better put all these in a jar.
That's a Commissioner Gordon move right there.
I just like that he's holding Thomas's hand and Thomas is like, "Don't be afraid, Bruce." And then he's holding Martha's hand and she's like, "This shit's from the Dollar General."
Aren't you a billionaire?
Oh, okay. I can't wait till we get our Batman movie. All right, let's keep going.
Now, strap in to learn the cost that Breaking Bad took on Bruce's soul. Because this cartoon is less about gadgets and beat-em-ups and more about the scars of a man who took on an impossible burden.
I didn't count on being happy.
How much of this movie takes place in a graveyard? Most of it. Fun! Enter the seedy under...
That line encapsulates like how crazy it is that Paul Dini just got to make this movie. Just Bruce Wayne for kids on his knees in front of a grave, crying in a storm, saying, "I didn't count on being happy." Like, what?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Well, it's like we've explored a lot, like how difficult it is to be Batman and like the sacrifices. Like every Batman series sort of jumps into that at some point, but we never actually had him be like he hates being Bat. Like he wishes he didn't have to be Batman. Like that's like taking it to the next level that I think not every Batman. Like
that's when the studio exec is like, smash cut to the kids that fought Penguin. Like this is getting to be too much.
They're enjoying themselves.
I just assumed that the repeated graveyard stuff was a cost-saving thing, but no, those are different graveyard backdrops at different times of day. They didn't just reuse the same graveyard scene.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of graveyard looks.
Yeah.
There was a whole graveyard vision board.
Oh yeah, the graveyard district over there.
It's by the
like 30% graveyard, so there's a lot of options.
Okay, keep going.
Enter the seedy underbelly of Gotham, where the skyscrapers are tall and the world's fairs go ham. To suit up with the Batman, a collection of rectangles and feelings, as he takes on a new baddie, the Phantasm. I think they never actually say it out loud. They're a grim reaper with the power of atmospheric farts. Who uses their...
Should we have?
Oh,
was it necessary?
Oh,
No.
No. Was it necessary? No. Should we have? Definitely.
The way he timed it out was what put it over the top.
That was you, Joe, right? The power of atmospheric farts. I remember that making me laugh in an email.
Yeah. But then it was the execution that really sold it for me.
Yeah, it's the little ones after the big ones.
Yeah.
That takes it on.
The little at the end. Yeah. I took less anxiety from that and more anxiety from writing. I think that's his name. They never really say it because then the rest of this week I've had an ulcer being like, they don't say it right. They don't say Phantasm right. They don't
say it. I hope they don't say it.
Nothing the commenters would love more than to jump on a goof like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they ever actually do. I mean, the Phantasm certainly doesn't say it. So how would they know that's what it's called?
What's up with that claw? I feel like they're like in the middle of regrowing half of that claw.
Well, also, we were talking before about Bruce Wayne's self-taught. So Andrea Beaumont also self-taught? Like, how did she figure all this out? She made this skull mask? What is she?
Yeah.
She's on all these ocean liners. They have classes.
She studied metal shop in high school?
But I feel like the claw is her hand in there like this, and that's just a thumb claw? Bring the claw back up. His claws.
No, I think she's just holding on to it from the inside, and it's just a multi-purpose.
The top one is for like opening bottles.
Yeah.
It's a can opener / death claw.
But it's so close to a pincher. Like, just go full crab and just give her the
crab tap.
some articulation.
Batman Mask of the Crab would have worked just as well.
I am crustacean.
Mask of the crustacean. And he like always walks sideways. It'd be great.
Crustacean sounds like a He-Man villain.
Crustacean.
Yeah.
And that looks like Skeletor. All right, let's keep going.
Fourth. Who uses their martial arts in Crab Claw to take out some of the oldest, fattest mobsters in Gotham. Thrill as Batman rekindles an old flame in Andrea Beaumont, another classic entry in Bruce's "we're too damaged to make it work" dating history, even though they both share a love for jiu-jitsu and dead parents.
Who are you talking to?
My mother.
What would a Batman be without a Joker? Unprofitable, so Mark Hamill shows up halfway through this one. Watch his take fall somewhere between Heath Ledger's chaotic intensity, Cesar Romero's gentlemanly warning before he tries to blow you up,
I'm sending you a fun gift, Airman. In 5 minutes, everything goes up. You're not Batman after all.
and Jared Leto's plausibility that he would be banging a robotic maid for fun.
You get in the mood and company shows up.
Come on, you really think they'd do the first animated Batman movie with an original villain?
Pause.
An infinite.
I like this take on the Joker in this movie because I don't think he has like henchmen in this one really. So you really get the sense that he's just hanging out alone in this abandoned World's Fair, like, and he's just talking to his sex robot. That's his only companion. He has like a real you buy the insanity of a cartoon Joker more than some of the live action ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's freeing to not have to have him be like cool. Like they want to make the Joker cool now, and it's like, no, he's not. There's nothing cool about him. He's just a crazy psychopath.
Something cool about the Joker kids.
Yeah, like Jared Leto, like that's just so the wrong approach. Because like, no, he's not supposed to be like cool. Like he's not hanging out in like nightclubs being a badass. Everybody's like, ooh, that's the Joker. Like that doesn't make any sense.
And Joker having henchmen has always been a thing that never made any sense to me. There is no possibility that you are getting paid enough to deal with Joker stuff. Like
a failed stand-up comic.
Yeah. Oh God. Just improv all day. He's just always on. Ugh.
I've got a new bit to try out.
But it's also like that's how he expresses being the Joker's like shooting random people unexpectedly. Like that's because I'm the Joker. Like so you don't want to be right there. You're gonna get taken out soon enough.
There's an end of the week bonus for the best yes and.
No.
Yeah, if you're like a desirable goon, there's so many options you have in Gotham City. Joker's got to be last on everyone's list, but is it like the Prestige? Like, do they get shots at the bar?
It's like supervillain David Brent. Like, you don't want to be in an office with him all day. Like,
No.
Two-Face is just going to be like behind closed doors flipping a coin. Like, much easier.
But then at the same time, go ahead, Reds.
No, just saying, like, if you work for Naomi Campbell and you get a phone thrown at you, you knew what you were getting into. So if you work for the Joker and then all of a sudden, like, you're surrounded by Joker fish and you can't stop smiling and you don't know why, like, you did that to you. No one did that to you. Again, there's no way he pays that much. He pays an all post-Jokered fish.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree that the gig economy in Gotham is broken.
The goon economy.
The goon economy.
Well, it's like Westworld season 3. There's that like app for crime. That's what Gotham needs. Is like the Penguins running a scam. We need 8 bird-themed henchmen.
Yeah, gooner.
Yeah.
You have your goon profile up there.
I wrote this once. I wrote a script for this. I called it Hencher.
Hencher.
Yeah, not bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huh.
I got
We'll do it.
I mean,
We'll
like
do a-
Birds of Prey could have had that, and it wouldn't have been out of place. Like if that element was in that movie, you'd be like, I buy this.
Like a goon career fair.
Yeah, just like
Each villain has their booth.
It's also like the Harley Quinn show. I think kind of plays around with like the Venture Brothers almost, where it's like that's a viable job in this universe.
Yeah.
You can work for the Monarch, you know.
R.I.P. Venture Brothers. All right, let's keep going.
The mood and company shows up.
Come on, you really think they'd do the first animated Batman movie with an original villain? We live in an infinite universe, with an infinite capacity for more Joker stuff. So return to the Art Deco nightmare of Paul Dini's Gotham for an animated classic that deserves to be at the top of your best bad list by proving the best way to make Batman for adult audiences isn't with violence, even though the bloodiness is pretty sick. Or by porking Batgirl for no good reason, although this Batman definitely but by pulling off what creators have been trying to do since the beginning, make a cool noir story about a guy who dresses like a bat that reflects on how sad it is that he can't stop doing so much awesome punching. It's just so very sad. Starring The Bachelor. Fanta, don't you want a Fanta? You ever dance with the devil at the abandoned World's Fair? Lord Business, R.I.P. Abe Vigoda, Fast and the Furious 6, or was it 7 when they did that? Maybe 5? Zim's mom.
Pause. 7?
7.
8.
I believe it's 7.
No, it wasn't 8. It wasn't 8.
It's 7 when they're in
when they go
like,
skyscraper hopping in Dubai
or something, and they're jumping between. Yeah, they steal like the supercar from the top of the tower. Yeah, I think that's.
And then they do it again. Oh,
Is that the one with Ronda Rousey in it?
Yes, it's the party where she's the bodyguard is where they steal the car. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with 7, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. It's 6 or 7.
I'm pretty sure that is 7. It is 6 or 7, but I'm pretty sure it's 7.
You be the judge. All right, let's keep going.
Zim's mom. Put a sock in the door, Bruce.
Ooh.
Whoa. The ending of Hot Fuzz and Bat Squins.
Great timing with the music.
Batman Forever Alone.
Geez, Mr. Saul, I can't tell the difference.
It's identical down at Ben Franklin's stubble.
Huh. This seems like the kind of thing the FBI could probably handle, rather than, a violent vigilante. Didn't realize Batman even had a white-collar crime division.
Yeah, that shocked me at the very beginning, where he busts up a counterfeiting meeting and beats the crap out of everybody. Like, that case is ruined. Any kind of criminal case you bring against them is ruined.
Like, it seems like kind of an unspoken rule, like, Batman, violent crime. Like not white collar, not victimless crime. Like, violent crime. You're not needed here.
I mean, I think he would do more good for Gotham if he focused on white collar crime and just beat the crap out of like people using tax shelters and stuff. Like,
just like you said, like it's sort of like misaligned. Like then you ruin. You need investigators on that, or like accountants and stuff are going to be putting together, not just like a guy who's going to punch everybody.
Yeah, we had a paper trail, but half of them flew out this broken window.
Yeah, like
have they ever done
just muggings? But the muggings are Batman's bread and butter. I would think.
Identity theft. I think he'd be pretty good at that, right?
Yeah. Have they ever done a thing with Batman where like they do like Point Break, where the guy's like, do you think I like being undercover for a month? My wife makes me sleep on the couch because I smell. And then your boys come in here and start shooting the place up. Like, have they done that with Batman where he's like, haha, all that punching. And then some dude's like, dude, I'm
you blew the case.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever, like, Bullock's never been like, you're off the case, Batman.
That would be fun. That would be so good, though, if, like, the last guy's about to beat up, he, like, pulls off the guy's hat and it's Bullock, and he's like, dude, you wrecked this whole thing.
Been embedded for 4 months. What do you do? I did, like, 3 surfing competitions.
Yeah, and then that guy becomes a villain.
There you go.
Called Undercover.
Well, first he screams and pounds the ground and fires his gun into the air a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. All right. Well, that was fun. I think there's some stuff that there's a good amount of stuff we cut out, so let's roll them deleted scenes.
Thrill as Batman rekindles an old flame in Andrea Beaumont. And by rekindle, I mean he's full-blown stalking her.
So we meet again.
Uh-huh. Sure, it's for the case, big guy. We all know that the computer does all your detective work anyway.
Some kind of dense macromolecular polymer. Adaptogenic, of course.
Of course.
Starring.
Is that a Leroy Jenkins line?
What?
Well, that sounded like Leroy Jenkins. Repeating, of course.
Wasn't Leroy Jenkins just Leroy Jenkins?
Well, they have the whole back and forth before the guy runs in, where the dude is like, "Okay, you're gonna go over here. We're gonna get this."
Repeating, of course.
Oh, it could be from WoW for sure. Yeah. Sorry, it's been 18 years since I watched the full Leroy Jenkins.
I think about it every day.
Bruce Wayne is animated typing, like it's his fingers are moving like so supernaturally fast against these like huge keys. It's like
I love a good cartoon keyboard. Always unmarked keys, enormous light up thing.
Just these he types like 400 words a minute. Like again, self-trained.
Well, actually, that's the thing, is that nobody in film or television uses a mouse. It's just not cinematic. No one's ever clicking. Everyone's always both hands up here.
Yeah. Well, when you're hacking, Spencer, you don't use the mouse
naturally. Penny and her computer book was my favorite from Inspector Gadget.
I want to say Elliot in Mr. Robot, I believe, has used a mouse. I'm just going to put that out.
No, he's a hacker. No way.
I think I've seen him with at least a touchpad.
He uses interactive VR gloves.
Real hackers dance. All right, what else we got?
And a dense macromolecular polymer, adaptogenic, of course.
Of course.
Starring Bruce Mann, Little Orphan Batman-y, the one that got them away, Jessica Habit, Vicky Fail, Shredder, Smoke itching your eye holes, Darkwing, Dark Hamill, Killer Clowns with Acid Face, Arthur Rack, Diarrhea, Batman Begins returns, Bruce Almighty, Fantasia, I Know What Bruce Did Last Summer. You knew this movie was going to be awesome from the opening credits because they brought in a choir to do the theme music. If there's a choir, the movie is fire. I learned that in film school.
Sure. There you go.
Jokes that's really good, but we have trouble using because we'd have to play you a little bit of the song, and we don't have the rights.
We're terrified of playing music now. Apparently, YouTube's killer robots are highly trained when it comes to using score and songs.
But I know, like, people in the comments sometimes will be like, "Why did we talk about this music, this needle drop, this score thing?" And it's like,
as we can.
Legal.
Yeah. That was especially with Bebop. Everyone was like, "Why didn't you talk about the soundtrack?" And it's like, it's great. We literally can't.
We cannot. Like, we could have sung our own version, but it doesn't really play.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But just imagine the songs in your head. They're very good. So let's respond to some of what you guys are saying, guys and gals. Elias writes, for Lon, Batman did train with ninjas in the cartoon, I think. And Jason Todd follows up. He trained with ninjas and a master illusionist in the series, but there wasn't time to get all that in the movie.
Right. No, yes, like
that continuity.
Various points during the show, I know they flash back, and it's got. I'm just saying, like, in the movie, it really is like it's showing you his preparation to be Batman, and it's all just like him at his mansion, literally by himself. But yes, you're correct. There is like a League of Shadows in the show. Like Ra's al Ghul gets in there eventually.
Yeah. Langley M. Neely, what's up, Langley? Writes, it's one of, if not the best Batman films of all time. This and Spider-Verse are examples of how animation gives us the definitive versions of these characters. Strong statement, but I tend to agree. I think that it's, especially since they started on the page, this is a way for them to kind of bridge the gap between live action and comic books, and where they're not constrained by reality and budget and stuff like that, but it still can make a deeper connection than a comic. So I agree with that. I think animated movies do have kind of the platonic ideal versions of Batman and Spider-Man in them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I agree, but it's also an interesting comparison because Spider-Verse is using animation to like do stuff that you really couldn't even do in live action. Like it's like mixed media almost. Whereas this movie, you could make this movie in live action. Like there's nothing particular to animation about what they do here. It's just interesting, and it's like a well-told story is what it matters here.
Yeah. I think the reason why animation got away with it in this case is less about like the pushing the boundaries and more that probably Warner Brothers was like, meh, low stakes. I don't feel like giving them notes. And so they just got to make a great movie under the radar.
Whereas if you were going to make Phantasm in live action, they'd be like, it needs way more action. Maybe the Riddler can be in it too.
Pearls. Yeah.
pearls. More pearls.
Yeah. Adam Hulbert writes, do you think the Batman reboot will be the closest to noir in a live-action film? Also, prayers up for Pattinson recovering from his fight with COVID. From what I've seen, it doesn't look really noirish. It looks more like, I don't know, Seven, like a Fincher movie or something like that. But I don't know. What has been the most noirish Batman yet? I don't. It's not much competition.
I mean, I think it's the animated series. I think
the animated series were that 89. The 89 movie has a lot of like old time gangster sort of elements with like the Palance Nicholson stuff at the top, and like I think that's sort of deeper than we've gone into those kinds of stories than certainly like the Nolan Schumacher later stuff.
Yeah. All right. And then finally,
said it's going to be a detective. Like if it is a detective story, like they've sort of promised, then it might have some noir-y kind of elements. But the trailer does not. Yeah, the trailer is much more like Fincher.
Yeah. And finally, John Bainbridge writes, Kevin Conroy is forever the best Batman and the best Bruce Wayne. Agree?
I mean, I ain't gonna argue.
Sort of agree. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a strong, definitive voice and take, and I think what really kind of cements it for the lead is that he was able to do it over such a sustained amount of time. And so I think that really hits it. Billy might Kool-Aid Man through my window and be like, Val Kilmer, but Val Kilmer only got to do it once. Val Kilmer was a great Bruce Wayne, but he only got to do it. He only got, one shot behind the Batmobile wheel. Whereas Conroy got to really shoot his shot with this character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll co-sign that.
Yeah, I'm split between. I love Conroy's take, and I totally agree with what Joe said. Like the longevity, the range is super impressive. I feel like Michael Keaton's the only one who's really kind of tapped into the insanity of Bruce Wayne. Like not a sane, rational guy making reasonable decisions. And I think Michael Keaton really brings that to the surface, whereas a lot of other people play Bruce Wayne as like basically he can just like become a normal rich guy. Like, hey, how's it going? Welcome to my party. And I like that Keaton's always like there's a little bit of something off about him even when he's trying to be normal.
Like some manic energy for sure.
It's like that come on, let's get nuts. It's always like right under the surface. Like it never goes away completely.
But I like the choice that this movie makes where no, he's not crazy, he's miserable.
I just can't stop punching low-level criminals. It's this weird fetish I have. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for watching The Honest Trailer and this, and just watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm. It's short, and it's really good. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like and the bell so you can see this every time we do it, which is every Tuesday, SJU, and other videos throughout the week. We're going to do one for the boys, I believe, on Friday.
Yeah.
So don't worry. We didn't forget about them boys. And Joe, is there a special something you want to plug?
Oh, yeah. We wanted to give some love to, I think, today and maybe this week for like all of our coworkers and peers and like everybody's launching channels and starting new ventures. And we really want to make sure that you guys are checking them out and giving them some love. I know our lovely hug friend Scott Mance, the master of movie dates and solid handshake, Scott Mance, launched his channel today. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you're watching, our own Roxy Strier's doing Live at the Roxy every day. Everybody's busting ass right now and working really hard. Ken Knapsack's doing great stuff over on Patreon. John Roca's doing a daily show. Like all these folks are really working hard. And so make sure you check a new person out a day.
Mr. Dan Murrell, going strong.
Love. Yeah, Mr. Dan Murrell, going strong. Give everybody some love, some shares, some comments. A little goes a long way.
Well, there you go. Like and subscribe to all those things. And join us next week where we will be doing something brave and epic and honest.
What are we doing?
Making a big, brave choice. It's very brave of us as writers.
Very brave of us.
Very brave. So brave. All right, we'll see you next week. I'll tell you Joe later. It's not the best clue. We did Braveheart already. Bye.